Dear viewers, welcome to the very first episode of Afya Yako, a bilingual health show specially aired on IBN Africa. In this show, we'll be discussing a variety of health topics that affect the public health. Today, we'll be discussing on obesity. The WHO estimates that by the year 2020, 12.6% of African children will be obese. In today's times, obesity is a bigger problem than even hunger and starvation. Today with us, we have Dr. Lekni Pashin, an expert nutritionist, who is going to enlighten us on obesity and how to tackle this condition. Welcome, Dr. Lekni.
Thank you, Dr. Sajid.
Whenever we talk about obesity, normally we just look at, okay, a person is fat, and we normally look at the BMI. Could you give us an overview on obesity and what are the other factors that you can use to know that somebody is obese, apart from looking at somebody's BMI?
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Sajid, for giving me opportunity to speak on this topic. When we talk about obesity is if we say in the common word, it's nothing but a positive balance. I would say positive energy balance in one's body. If you're giving more input, taking out less output, we will be ending in the status called obesity.
Obesity.
Right?
Right.
So when we talk of obesity, it can start with the overweight. Then we have the grade 1 obesity, grade 2 obesity, grade 3 obesity.
Okay.
So basically they are, as you say, the body mass index. They can be defined on the basis of body mass index. And we say the BMI.
BMI.
Right? So simply if we say that the person, if it is overweight, like the person is of 10% more than his normal weight,
Okay.
it say be overweight.
Overweight.
Yeah, just overweight.
Okay.
And in this condition, one need not to be worried much. He or she can do it, his or her weight management by himself.
By himself. Okay.
Yeah. And no repercussions, no health hazards. And yes, when the weight of one person exceeds 20% more than his normal weight,
Okay.
we say that it is the obesity.
When it exceeds 20%.
20%
Okay.
more than his normal
Normal
weight.
body
When
weight.
person goes, then it say that we say the person has the obesity.
Obesity. Okay.
Yeah. So in that way, and there are again the classifications: grade 1 obesity, grade 2 obesity, grade 3 obesity. So starting, a person, like we say, when, as you say, the BMI, the body mass index, if it is in between 25 to 30 approximate, so the person is overweight, and yes, he can manage by himself or herself. But if it exceeds from 30 to 40,
Okay.
then the person is on risk of cardiovascular diseases,
Okay.
other diseases, health problems,
Right.
And if it exceeds by 40, the BMI 40, if it exceeds, the person is suffering from various diseases.
Okay.
And as we say that this obesity leads to disability, disease and death.
And death as well.
Right?
Okay.
So, we also see when the weight exceeds more than, we have lot of limitations.
Right.
So for us it is very important to limit it to a shorter period, work upon it, and not to let ourselves go into the deeper, the grade 1, grade 2, grade 3
And grade 3.
obesities.
Now, when you say somebody eventually obviously gets death, would obesity be the cause of death, or would the other complications caused by obesity be the cause of the
Okay.
death?
No, Dr. Siti, it leads to that.
It leads to
like
death.
in the way disability. If the person is of, tremendous weight,
Yeah.
osteoarthritis of knee, hip, lumbar spine. So these are the causes
Okay.
which happens. Because of that, the limitations occur in daily life. The person can't perform normal course of her in life, and That's how, and then it becomes many metabolic disorders like diabetic mellitus, hypertension, osteoarthritis. So that's how they leads to many diseases, and then
these diseases at the end cause death.
yeah.
Now, so basically obesity is a risk factor for numerous diseases,
Yes.
including cardiac problems and diabetes.
I agree, Dr. Sajjan.
Now, whenever we talk about obesity, generally the notion that we have in our mind is that obesity is caused by overeating and lack of exercise. Now, I agree that is for majority of the cases. However, there are also some other factors that cause obesity, such as genetics or hormonal changes.
Hormonal changes.
Could you enlighten us about that?
Yeah, of course, Dr. Sajjad. There are some, obesity can be majorly, as you discussed, caused by the behavior or habits.
Okay.
Yet, apart from that, sedentary life and overeating, there are some physiological obesity,
Okay.
like expecting mother,
Okay.
lactating mother in pregnancy. The weight has to go,
Has
and
to
it's
go.
a normal.
Okay.
So, apart from that, there are some medical conditions
Okay.
like hypothyroidism, we say.
Okay.
So, they lead to obesity,
Obesity.
the hormonal change, the menopause, and
The other conditions.
yes, they
Okay.
lead to obesity sometimes.
Okay. So obviously other conditions such as pregnancy, as you mentioned. When we have a look at obesity, we mentioned obviously the major factor is overeating and having a sedentary lifestyle,
Sedentary.
which means lack of exercise and lack of activities.
Yes.
The question comes here, which behaviors leads to overeating and sedentary lifestyle? For example, I've heard that and I've seen in some of the research, it shows that eating while watching television is a major cause of obesity, because that is what fosters this sedentary lifestyle. Could you give us such examples of how somebody ends up with such habits? And maybe what are the changes needed? What should somebody do in order to avoid such habits?
Yes, I agree, Dr. Sajjad. That is why the obesity is the biggest problem in developed countries, and it is becoming the biggest problem in developing countries.
Correct.
Because we have availability of foods, easily digested, easily consumed, rich in sugars, rich in fats. Such kind of food, our market is full of. So we have, if you want to make a choice, immediately it comes in the easy form of fast food, more lucrative, more tasty, but for a shorter time.
But for a shorter time.
So one tends to pick these things very easily.
Uh-huh.
And it requires an effort, deliberate effort to put your brains what to choose and what to leave. Especially the target becomes the children.
The children,
and then
okay.
teenagers, because they see and they pick. Whatever they see available, they pick.
They pick.
So that is how. Then these are the things which actually, they become the part of your life. I give you an example.
Okay.
I have a very small daughter.
Okay.
And whenever we go for the outing, the first thing which she likes is pizza.
Pizza, okay.
Because they know if you're going for outing, we are supposed to eat
The junk food.
the
or
junk food.
Yeah.
It is supposed. Okay. You tell me, whenever we have a party in our homes,
Yes.
what do we offer?
There's always sweets, there's
Yes.
always sodas.
We give them easily digested carbohydrates,
Yes.
sugars, and fats.
And fats, yeah. French fries will always be
Yes, they have become the part of our living. We know that if this is a party, if this is a celebration, we are bound to indulge in it. So what happens when our younger generation sees it? They are not able to divide.
Right.
They understand that this is it.
This is it.
You understand?
Yes.
And these lifestyles, they lead to the problems like obesity, hypertension. Not only obesity brings so many
So many other problems
diseases
with
with it.
And this could be just the beginning, I mean.
Yes.
Because somebody doesn't have prior knowledge to it, and maybe if we don't train children to eat healthily, we continue down this road, and by the time you reach 30s,
We
40s,
need
it affects
to
you.
make them aware that the healthy food is
Is
a nice
available
food,
and a nice
and it can be as delicious as a junk food.
As
The
a
only thing is that we need to rack our minds.
Okay.
We need to do exercise.
Okay.
We need to do little more on our parts
On our
to make them
parts.
understand.
It's very good that you mentioned on how we have a notion of whenever we go out or whenever we have a party, we eat junk food. Because I've read a research that has shown in South Africa, more or less, although it's the same statistics for all over Africa, but they have focused more on South Africa, the number of obese people has risen over the past 5 to 10 years because the number of fast food franchise has also risen in the country.
I told you it's a directly proportion.
It's a directly proportion. So now, I've written a health article in The Guardian just last week on obesity, and in that I had explained that stopping all these junk food at once is very difficult.
Yes.
So we decided on doing a step-by-step process of phasing out the junk food and phasing in the healthy food. What is your advice to somebody who loves junk food? People say healthy food is not tasty, which is not true. But how do you
The key-
bring this habit?
The key to this all discussion is the moderation.
Moderation, okay?
When we speak to our younger generation,
Yeah.
we need to teach them no food is bad.
No food is bad, okay?
No food is bad.
Okay.
But the amount matters.
The amount matters, okay?
So if we indulge in all these foods,
Mhm.
it will lead to the problems.
Okay.
Whereas if we consume them in the moderation,
In moderation.
as they are supposed to be consumed, it will not be a big problem for them. We can collaborate them with the healthy foods.
Okay.
Like children, we can always encourage them to have healthy foods 5 days a week.
Okay.
And 2 days when they can go out, they can pick some of the things which they want, which
Okay.
they are not supposed to be so healthy, but they can put.
But they can put, okay.
But the idea is to maintain a healthy, balanced, nutritive diet for them as well as for us in the longer period.
In the long period.
And the idea of giving output also.
Okay.
Whatever input we are going,
Right.
we are consuming food, we are indulging. If we are more towards the energy outputs, that simply if we say that indulging in physical exercises, not always depending upon the gadgets, the tab, the computers.
Correct.
If we encourage them to go out,
Play,
sports,
sports.
swimming, basketball. So that will lead to a balance in the body. And that balance is very important.
And it's important that you mention children because I believe, as you have said, starting to teach them these habits at a younger age is what is going to help them to remain with this habit in the
Yes.
future. Dr. Lekney, they say smoking and lack of sleep can also cause obesity.
Yes.
Is it true, and why?
Yes, there are studies
Okay.
which has shown that smoking leads to obesity.
Okay.
And as you say, the lack of sleep. Yes,
Okay.
unhealthy lifestyles,
Okay.
which we say they lead to obesity. Rising up in the late, sleeping in the
Very late, okay.
So they causes these problems.
So it is important for our viewers to know that obesity isn't only caused by overeating or eating unhealthy food and lack of exercise, but also having habits such as smoking and lack of sleep or not sleeping properly can also cause obesity.
Stress.
And stress as well. Okay, let us look at some other things now. There are a lot of quick slim products in the market.
Yes.
There are pills that they claim when you take one pill within a month every day, you will be free from obesity. There are slim massages and belts. Yes, you wear those massages and belts, and belly fat goes away within a week or a month. What is your view on all this?
We all know, doctor, that there is no shortcut.
There
in
is
our
no
lives.
shortcut. Okay.
So we need to be aware
Okay.
what we are eating
Okay.
and what we are doing.
Okay.
So in longer run, massage can give you results of weight loss, but it is of very temporary.
Oh, it's temporary.
It's very temporary.
Okay.
But in longer run, if you want to get rid of problems like obesity,
Okay.
you need to opt a tougher and the ultimate way
Okay.
of putting your output more.
Okay.
Like 30 minutes brisk walk.
30 minutes brisk walking.
30
Every day?
minutes brisk walk 5 days in a week.
5 days in a week.
It's a very simple thing
Thing
which
to
we
do.
all can do in
We
our
all
life.
have enough time for that.
Isn't it?
Yes.
So for children, we encourage them for the swimming,
Swimming. Okay.
right? We encourage them for the sports.
Mm-hmm.
So if we will, I always say that if you balance
Mm-hmm.
with your input and your output, you will lead to a healthy weight
You will lead to a healthy weight.
in the longer run.
In the
There's
long
no shortcut.
There is no shortcut. It's good you mentioned that. I mean, it's a lot of us. I mean, I believe everybody knows that in life there is no shortcut. However, it's something that is very appealing to people when you're told, oh, just take one tablet and you're slim. But it's good that you mentioned. So there is no shortcut, and all these products wouldn't be helpful if you do not have a proper healthy lifestyle. Dr. Lekni, what would be your final message to the viewers on basically if somebody is obese already and they want to get slim quickly, what is your maybe 2-sentence formula for that?
Okay. As we say that diet plays a major role.
Okay.
One can always cut down his energy. Like if we say that if suppose someone is consuming 2000 to 3000 kilocalorie diet
Okay.
per day,
Okay.
one can always cut down to 1500. And we say that cutting a diet of say about 1500 kilocalorie will give you every day in a week, will give you around half to 1 kg of weight loss in 1 week.
Okay.
So ideally but the diet should be of nutritionally balanced. It should be full of protein, vitamins, minerals and fiber. Fiber
Okay.
plays a lot of role.
Okay.
It not only will help you get rid of the obesity or give you the in achieving the target,
Okay.
but it also helps in lowering the cholesterol, and it is helpful in hypertension. So the
Okay.
overall in your it helps in the constipations.
Okay.
So the overall your health will improve if you follow this kind of diet.
Diet.
Diet should never be a crash one.
Okay.
It should never go beyond the below 1000 kilocalories
Okay.
per day.
Okay.
Because if you want to maintain the nutritionally adequate diet of
Right.
protein, your vitamins, minerals and
Okay.
fiber, it has to be like say about 1000 kilocalorie diet per day,
Per day.
which will optimum give a result of 3 kg weight loss in a month. 3 to
Oh,
4 kg
okay.
loss, So this what is a slow but steady
process.
Along with that, you can have the 30 minutes brisk walks, the cycling, the swimming. You can, so that will add up to your this in
To the
achieving the target.
balance.
Yeah, balancing.
Okay. You mentioned fiber, fruits, and all other types of foods. Maybe what would be your advice? Could you tell us exactly what foods in fiber, what foods in protein
yeah.
would be best to consume?
Yeah. If we talk on the
The healthy choices.
the healthy choices, we say, if we say our diet should be of the carbohydrates,
Okay.
we choose the complex carbohydrates
Okay.
rather than on the simple one.
Okay.
Like we can have the oats,
Oats,
the broken wheat.
broken
So
wheat.
the more we take in a unprocessed food,
Okay.
it is the healthy choice.
Okay.
So when we talk about proteins, we can take the fish, but it should be grilled, not fried one.
Not fried one.
Right?
Okay.
So the eggs are beautiful and the very nice food, except the yolk part.
Okay.
Yeah, so it is enriched in it is rich in the cholesterol. So
Uh-huh.
everyday yolks not good.
Not good.
Not
Okay.
good. So egg albumin, as I said, the grilled or poached fish,
Okay.
and for vegetarians, if you say the
Yes.
choices, the legumes, the pulses, the
Okay.
soya beans, there are a lot of healthy choices. Which one has to take? When we come for the vitamins and minerals,
Yeah.
the locally available fresh fruits and vegetables are the best,
Okay.
because if we take the frozen and all, it's good, but still, if you talk about the financial aspect, the local which are available in the surroundings, if you consume that, not only they will be helpful in your providing the nutrients, but it will helpful to your pockets also.
Okay. So it's so eating the fresh foods and fresh fruits
is
is not
important.
only economical, but I believe the way you have mentioned that eating these organic foods compared to the frozen ones has more nutritional value, correct?
Yes.
You mentioned fiber. Could you give us examples of some foods that are high in fiber?
Yeah, yeah. When we talk about fiber, we need to understand the more the processed food is, it is less in fiber,
Okay. Okay.
right? So if we see the wheat,
Yes.
if we see the flour,
Okay.
so the wheat is always a healthy choice,
Is a healthier choice.
right? If we
Correct.
see the refined products, they are less in fiber, they are more harmful.
They are more harmful.
If you see the pulses which are whole pulses, like covered,
Right.
like we eat beans,
Right.
lot of we say the marage,
Maharagi.
they are very healthy choices.
Okay.
Yeah, so more the cover, more the fiber.
More the fiber. Okay. So
You
this
say
is
the corn, what do you say? The
corn kernels.
yes,
Yes.
yes, they are the very nice. So they are rich in fibers.
Okay.
Whereas the food which is processed is dense in, which is dense in energy and less in fiber,
Okay.
right?
So basically, a general formula for the viewers would be if a food has has more cover. This is a very interesting concept. So something like beans or all types of
Oats.
beans and pulses
Oats, yes.
and oats and corn kernels. All these are healthy choices.
Yes.
More cover, more fiber.
Yes.
So less cover, less fiber.
Yes.
So basically, these ready-made processed foods which are packed in energy are actually having very less fiber indeed.
Yes, and the one more thing which I would like to add
Yes.
is that along with the choosing the fiber food, you can cut down on sugars
Okay.
and salt.
Okay, sugars and salt.
Yes, because these, as we say, the junk food is only and only dense in
In
sugars
and
and
salt.
salt. So at our home we talk about the pickles, we talk about the fried. So we need to cut down on our fats and sugars. The first day to start is only to cut down on your sugars and salts.
Okay. So this is why we have to continue to eat organic food compared to these energy dense, and obviously they have a lot of salt and sugar in them. Dr. Lekni, thank you for being in the show. In conclusion, what would be your advice to the viewers?
Okay. When we talk about obesity and
Yes.
we want to achieve our targets of weight reduction, one should be always remember that there is no shortcut. We need to balance our diet with the nutritionally available nutrients. Along with that, we need to cut down on sugars and salts. And the most important thing is that we need to opt for the healthy life choices. The way we cook, the way we eat, the way we do our things in our life. Rather than using the cooking methods of frying and deep frying, we can always encourage the steaming, the poaching, the grilling. That's how our food can be of more healthy, more nutrition rich, and more good for the longer period of time.
Thank you very much, Dr. Lekni. And this concludes our show for today. Next week, we shall be discussing with Dr. Priyank on the topic of diabetes. Until then, eat well and stay healthy.
Thank you.
Okay.